Aloha from Hawaii. I'm Dick Allgire, and I learned today that our friend Stephen Akana has passed on. And I feel it's important to do a little tribute and note his passing here on my YouTube segment because he affected a lot of you. So much so that many of you donated when he had a little trouble. Let me go back and tell that story. First of all, who is Stephen Akana?
I'm going to Maui tomorrow.
You might go to Maui.
To marry.
I called him the ambassador of Aloha at Ala Moana Beach because he was an elderly Hawaiian man who came down in a handy van and later on a moped, which is part of the story. He'd come to the beach every day and he would do his exercise. He would swim, he would do water walking, then he'd get out and dry off, and he would stand there and greet everyone who walked by and play songs on his ukulele. And he gave these little impromptu concerts. If a life well lived can be measured by the simple act of giving someone a smile and a little bit of joy and sharing music with them every day, a little bit of what Hawaiians call aloha, then Stephen Akana certainly lived a great life because he brought joy, music, happiness, and smiles to a lot of people at the park every day. And the segment that I did with him involved the time he got robbed at the park. He left his stuff kind of naively and went swimming, and when he got out, some homeless person had taken his backpack, his wallet, his clothes, and his beloved ukulele. I did a segment on that, and the outpouring was so much that we raised enough money to not only get his money back, give him a little extra money, new clothes, new ukulele. He had wanted a moped, and we were at first hesitant, like, well, I don't know if we should be buying this old guy a moped because what if he crashes it? And he didn't. But thanks to your donations, the donations from YouTube viewers and CryptoViewing subscribers, we raised a bunch of money for Stephen Akana and made the ending of his life the last couple of years quite joyful. So I'd see him coming to the beach with his helmet on his little moped, bloom, 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 puttering along with his backpack on, with the ukulele in his backpack, and he'd park his moped and swim and then play music for us. He was Hawaiian, as I said, and in Hawaiian culture there is a spiritual belief or knowledge that their ancestors, the spirits of their ancestors, would be embodied in what they call an aumakua. And an aumakua is like a shark, a turtle, a certain seabird. It can be even inanimate objects like rocks, but they would embody the spirits. So here's the story. Today I was at the beach and a lady came up to me and said, we're doing a memorial for Stephen. And I went, oh no, Stephen passed. And she told me the story. We talked about what a great guy he was and what we were going to do for the memorial. So I went into the water to do my swim, and I'm swimming a little over 1 kilometer. And it gets tedious, you know, I'm swimming along. And while I was swimming, I was thinking about Stephen. And I could hear his music playing in my mind. And I was thinking about where are the videos I have of him and what segments did I do, and just thinking about Stephen. And all of a sudden I ran into a big green sea turtle, like right there in my face. I stopped suddenly. Oh, if I would have continued my stroke, I would have hit it. So I stopped up short, and this sea turtle had popped up in front of me. It stopped, and it came to the surface and lifted its head out of the water and looked me in the eye and took a breath, and then looked at me some more, and then didn't dive down, just stayed right there just below the surface. And I swam with it. It came up, popped its head above the water, looked at me again, and we did this graceful little 3-minute ballet in the water where it just stayed right next to me, and I was treading water, and we were kind of turning, and it was looking at me. Came up a third time, took another breath, and then slowly swam off down to the depths. Being a remote viewer, I tend to believe things like that are not coincidence. So, you know, when it comes time for us to do our life review, I would hope, you know, I think one of the great things you can do in your life is give people a little happiness. Just be nice to them. Stephen Akana was a joker. He was silly. He would make silly little jokes and always smiling. Even when he got robbed, he was still smiling as I talked to him about that. But played music, shared his music. And when he popped out of his body and looked down and went, wow, I was living in that. I feel so much better than I did 5 minutes ago. And then he had his life review. He got to feel all the joy, all the happiness, all those good moments that he gave us at the beach playing his ukulele.
Kind of sticky to keep. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I dream of once in a lullaby. I see trees of green and red roses too. I'll watch them grow for me and you, and I sing to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and those clouds of white, the brightness of day. I like the dark, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also like the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. My babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than you will know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney tops, and swear you'll find me somewhere over the rainbow. Skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Oh, yo.